Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, and so much more. Today, in today's video, we're going to talk about subtle energy and thought forms as creating on purpose, creative visualization. Now, this is a segment from my new podcast, Inner Worlds. If you want to hear the full podcast, it's a good one. I'll link it down below for you. I hope that you like it. If you want to see more of these segments, please give a thumbs up. Please also comment below what topics you'd like me to go over on my solo episodes, because I need a lot of ideas and I'm really reading your comments and I want to get a good understanding of what you're looking for. I also would love to know who you'd like me to interview and have on for a conscious conversation on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Enjoy this little segment. And so now that that tangent is through, I want to talk a little bit about energy and thought forms. This is the thought forms and energy segment of the show today. It's the episode dedicated to understanding these esoteric concepts. So what is energy? We talk about energy as a currency. We talk about energy, give things your energy, take back your energy. I feel the energy in the room, full moon energy. What is that? What are we talking about? So we know what physical energy is, right? Most of us understand a little bit. There's physical energy such as electricity. Gravity is physical energy, right? Light, heat, air power, water power. There's atomic energy. There's magnetism. There's all these different types of physical energy. But what we don't learn about in middle school, in public school, we don't learn about subtle forms of energy. Subtle forms of energy are the etheric energies, the mental energies, psychic energies, emotional energy. For our purposes here today, what I really want to talk about is emotional energy. So the most emotional energy is generated by the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. So the chakras that are 2 inches below your navel and 2 inches above your navel. This is where we get our emotional energy from. And emotional energy can push things along. It can nourish thought forms. It can create. We create on purpose when we activate and cultivate our emotional energy. Okay? So when you have an emotion, when you have a feeling, you feel what it feels like in your body, right? Some feelings feel euphoric, they open you up, you feel your chest open up, your shoulders pull back. Some feelings make you feel sick, your tummy hurts, right? We feel emotions physically in our body, and this is because this emotional energy has this ability to animate things that are physical, right? So it physically animates us with that feeling. This is something that we can harness, that we can cultivate in order to manifest, okay? Ultimately, what we're talking about right now is manifesting, creating thought forms, is bringing the unseen into the seen, the immaterial into the material. That is what manifestation is, right? We bring the invisible into the visible. So we want to talk about emotional energy and cultivating that emotional energy because the feeling, like Neville Goddard says, the feeling is the secret. The feeling, the emotions, these are what feeds the thought forms. What are thought forms? This is the esoteric aspect of manifesting that we just don't talk about enough. Think about yourself walking through billions of basically entities that exist in other levels of reality and other dimensions. They exist all around you. These are thought forms. Imagine that your thoughts are living, separate beings. They're separate from yourself, and they simply exist in states unseen yet, right? So your sudden craving for a donut when you're thinking, oh, I kind of want a donut right now, or you remembering that you need to pick something up at the store, those are energetic beings briefly animated by thought force and emotional energy. Now, if you remember enough that you have to go to the store, if this thought form knocks on the door of your consciousness enough, what are you going to do? You're going to physically act and go to the store. If that donut thought form keeps knocking on the door of if it's strong enough to persuade you, to move you, it's going to animate you to go get a donut or a kale salad. Sorry if I'm putting donuts in your mind. So thousands of thought forms are created every minute. And thankfully, most of them don't they don't receive the energetic nourishment in order to become physical beings. Thank goodness for that, right? Because imagine if every thought that we had became physical reality. That would be a disaster. That would be chaos. But all these thoughts that we have do exist in the thought realm, in this astral realm. They do exist there. If a thought form is thought long enough, if it's fed enough emotional energy, if it's fed enough attention and focus, it must create a copy in the physical reality. It must lower itself, degrade itself in density until it plops into physical reality. It is law. That is the law of attraction. That is the law of polarity as well. If a thought form is powerful enough in the thought realm, it will replicate itself here on Earth. And how do we see that in less esoteric and more exoteric terms? How do we see that? We see that with everything around us. This microphone that I'm talking through, this was a thought form. This camera that I'm looking at over here, I'm recording a YouTube segment for this. That was a thought form. This computer, these were all thought forms. And if a thought form is given enough energy, eventually it becomes manifest. So our entire life, we've created our entire life through our thoughts. We come here as babies. The bottom half of our brain is programmed by instinct, but the top half of our brain is empty and it must be programmed. And as it's programmed, reality unfolds based on what thought forms it holds there, based on what beliefs it holds there. So what we're constantly feeding in our mind with emotional energy and attention, it becomes more dense until a copy of it is created in the physical world. So this is how visualization works, right? When you get into a state of, like we talked about in the second episode, I believe, when we get into a state of theta brainwave state, into the hypnagogic or hypnopompic state, into a trance-like hypnotic state, and you can get into this state. And anyway, I'm in that state right now as I speak because I'm in flow. You can get into that state as you watch TV, as you walk, as you meditate, as you start to fall asleep, as you do shamanic journeying. There's a so limitless amount of ways that you can get into this trance state. And as you start to visualize something, whether good or bad, whether it's something that you want or something that you don't want, you are creating a thought form. And so the best way to use visualization is to continuously add to this thought form by visualizing it, by setting a dedicated amount of time every day to work with this thought form, to feed it, to nourish it until it becomes physical. So what kind of thought forms can you nourish? You can nourish the thought of a beautiful, loving relationship, of an incredible, high-paying job, of a raise, of getting accepted into your desired school, of getting a free cup of coffee. Whatever thoughts you have, whatever desires that you have, understand that these all already exist as energetic potentialities in the thought realm, in the astral realm. And if you nourish them with your energetic currency, which is your emotions, the feeling is the secret, they have no choice but to become physical, to become manifest. So it's really that simple. And then there's this whole letting go concept of it. And people are like, well, you want me to visualize every day and to add into my visualization every day. And I personally am not of the belief that you have to do something every day. I think that as long as you have the conviction and the unwavering faith, knowing that once you visualize something once, something that you desire, of course, once, it's coming to you. It's already yours. It's on the way. That is enough. And feeling really good about it, of course, feeling those emotions. That is enough work. That is enough emotional energy. That is enough visualization to make that thought form come into manifestation. Okay? That is my belief. Others still do believe that you should return to your visualization every day. And I think that as long as that feels good to you, you should do it. The thing is, you gotta let go, because when you don't let go, you start to obsess. And when we start to obsess and overly think about something, we have the capability of creating competitive thought forms. And what that means is we start to doubt ourselves. So you're visualizing and you're thinking, you're seeing yourself and you're thinking and you're feeling how good it would feel to miraculously and beautifully get $10,000 in your bank account deposited in a beautiful, miraculous, and positive way, right? And you're visualizing this every day. And then one day, you had kind of a bad day, or somebody said something to you that threw you off, and you get this thought while you're visualizing and you start thinking, this isn't gonna work. I can't just manifest money out of thin air. And what you're doing is you're creating a competitive thought form. And if you start thinking that competitive thought form enough and the negative emotions arise and they start to feed this thought form, what you're doing is you're essentially neutralizing your manifestation. So when I say let go because it's you have to have unwavering faith that this is already yours and that there's no reason to doubt it. And if you do have a doubt, you just replace it with a more positive thought, a better feeling thought. That's how visualization works. So the secret is to spend dedicated time creating on purpose, right? Maybe giving yourself whatever feels good. It might be one time, it might be a daily thing, it might be every Thursday, it might be every other day where you sit and you create on purpose, you visualize on purpose, you create these thought forms, and then you let go and you enter flow where no competitive thoughts can interfere. So this is how I'm doing these new manifesting workshops that I've just thought into creation, into reality. What we do is we become very clear about what we want, and you can do this at home by yourself, of course, or with your friends, whatever it is that you want to do. You become clear about what you want to manifest, and you spend some time visualizing it. You open up your frequency to feeling that reality as if it's already here. And then you let go by getting into flow by going through meditation, a hypnotherapy session, or a sound healing session. That is how you let go, and that is how you allow the emotional energy to nourish that thought form and to manifest it into reality. And that's something that you can do very easily on your own at home. If you want to do it as a group with me, I always announce my workshops on Instagram, so make sure to follow me at Leeor Alexandra over there. And so that's basically what I wanted to talk about today, just thought forms and energy and the creation, the esoteric aspects of manifestation, where it's, thoughts attract to us, right? We're magnetic beings, and like attracts onto itself. Law of attraction basically means that like attracts like. And I think in the more esoteric explanation of that, it's that when you create this thought form, it must create its physical partner in the physical realm. I think it's really important to just remember that everything that you desire and everything that you want already exists as infinite potentiality. And you just have to call that reality in. Call it in through unwavering faith, through nourishing it with positive emotion, right? Feeding that thought form, and then letting go and moving on with your life and having a good time, taking care of yourself, getting into flow, doing things that you love to do, working on other things. Everything will come that way. And so that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please post about it on social media. It really is such a confirmation to me to just keep doing these ramblings, these solo episodes. We have a really fun episode with my astrologer not next week, but the following week. We're doing bi-weekly now. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I love you. As always, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. And remember to honor the universe inside of you.